Hello and welcome to video 17. This is me continuing to learn how to use the Elektron Digitone II and passing on to you everything I learn as I learn it. Today's video, I guess, was inevitable following on from the chord mode and note edit videos, because this one's all about the arpeggiator. I have to be honest and say that I've never found a lot of use for arpeggiators in my long career as a musician. They obviously have their uses and they're getting more and more sophisticated as the years go by, and the one in the Digitone II is no exception. It's absolutely brilliant. Just in case you don't know, an arpeggiator is a device that automatically plays the individual notes of a sustained chord in a rhythmic sequence rather than playing all the notes simultaneously. It kind of breaks down a chord into a series of notes, creating a broken chord, or arpeggio if you like, and the operator controls the speed, the direction, which can be up or down or alternating or even random, and the pattern of the notes played. The word arpeggiator comes from the word harp, which I'm sure you know is an instrument which is famous for playing sweeping runs of chords broken up into separate notes, arpeggios if you will. I used to play a harp. Check out some of my old videos to see me doing that. So I suppose the first thing you can try is to use the arpeggiator without recording it into the sequencer. In the past, I guess this is the sort of thing I did. I probably sat at a keyboard, put my hand down on the keys with the arpeggiator on and played a few things and thought, yeah, that sounds nice, I'm never going to use it. But anyway, there's lots of uses for this arpeggiator. So let's have a look at what we've got set up here. I'm using this sound here, which is Hidden Tears. It's actually the first sound in the list of presets. You basically want a short sound because long sustaining sounds don't work very well with this. I've only got a couple of sounds I'm using here, a kick drum there and this synth sound here, this Hidden Tears sound. Now if I hold down function and the keyboard setup key like that, obviously there's all kinds of modes here. I showed you all these a couple of videos ago, and we've got normal and folded. These give us notes, whereas leads modes give us chords. Let's just go back to the normal mode for the moment. Now let's press the arpeggiator key. It's off at the moment. Notice the speed is set at 1/16, so it's going to play in semi-quavers. I've kept the note length, top right there, down to a very short amount so you get nice short stabby sounds, and I've got the range on 1 octave. The way to turn the arpeggiator on is where you can hold funk and the arpeggiator and it jumps to the true mode. Let's turn that off again, or you can rotate the A encoder. You see? True mode means that the arpeggiator will play the notes in the order that you entered them. Let's just change that to up for the moment. By the way, there's off, true, up, down and cycle, which is up and down. So let's put it on up. So if I've got 3 notes that I'm holding down there. I've got the tempo set right down at 30. Let's just push down on the A encoder and move that up. Something a bit quicker. That will do fine. And as you add more keys, they get added into the mix. And there's your classic arpeggiator. That's going up. Let's change that to going down. Or we could have up and down. Yeah, all good stuff. We've got some controls at the bottom of the display here. We'll deal with those a little bit later on. If we go to the function and keyboard setup, if we go to this mode, chord root, now if I press the number 9 key, you can see the shape is set at 135. The shapes are set by the red trigs on top there. So this one is it's going to be a minor chord because our scale is set at C Aeolian, which is C natural minor. So these are all going to be 3 note arpeggios, so I go through the harmonised scale And remember, the arpeggiator is set to up at the moment. So you could change that to this one here, which is the minor seventh. Let's just put that back on. And of course, because the arpeggiator is set to a length of 16, these three notes will play over and over again until the 16 steps have been played, and then it starts again. So it just keeps going on and on and on. Let's change this to up. Now press the play button. There's our kick drum pattern, 4 on the floor. And I'm just going to press. Right, so we're on that track 9 where that hidden tears sound is. Haven't got any trigs recorded at the moment. I'm in grid recording mode. So I'm going to place a trig there on the first step of the bar. Let's look at the trig page. At the moment we're set to play in 16ths. So if I press play, that's only going to play one note. So I need to move this up to 16 so that this lasts for the entire bar. Now I've got my arpeggiator working and it's playing one note for every step. So that's the arpeggiator playing that single note from that single trig, you see? Now let's go into the arpeggiator, press the arpeggiator key here, and I can make some changes here. If you want to alter anything in your arpeggiator pattern, you do it in the lower half of the display here. If I rotate the level data encoder, you'll see the step moving along right the way up to 16 and back. If you push down and rotate, you jump in 4s, usual thing. And you can also do this one at a time with the right and left arrows. So let's just say we want to alter the 4th step. It says step 04. Now it says offset. Right, now at the moment it's just playing one note. Let's just go back to our kick drum pattern for the moment. So track 1, and we'll just put some extra kicks because this is playing so slowly. At the moment it's playing so slowly we're not actually getting a 4 on the 4 feel. Now we will do. That's good. Okay, so I'm on this 4th step and at the moment it's just playing one note. If I rotate the E encoder so it says 1, now listen to what happens. It's jumping up a semitone. I can make it jump up a tone, or I could take it all the way up to say 7. I'm doing this at this speed so you can follow what's happening. I could just bring that down again. So now it's just going to be straight, no changes. If I press the down arrow, listen to what happens now. It didn't play that step, you see. There's a dash there now, not a white square. So we can move on and make another dash. Down arrow. So we've got 2 holes in our arpeggiator pattern, but it will still play the pattern of 16 steps. Let's just do that. Then it starts again. You see? Now if you want to undo that, you press up. And you can see at the bottom these slightly smaller squares. See, you can see which step you're on. Okay, so we're back to where we were. The default length of the pattern is 16 and this is set with the H encoder. So if I scroll over, it gets shorter and shorter. If I play, you won't hear any difference, because whatever happens, you always get the 16 steps, you see. The other day I noticed on a video somebody was talking about an arpeggiator being a sequencer within a sequencer, and that's actually quite a good description, isn't it? I've made this little database just to show you how it works when you reduce the length of the arpeggiator. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to set some gaps in this pattern here. So we're right at the beginning of the pattern. Now I want to make a break on step 3. I'm going to press down arrow. Now I've got a gap there. 2 more. And now we'll do the same here. And then on step 10. So we've got 3 gaps on 3, 6 and 10. Let's just hear what that sounds like first of all without reducing the length. Then it starts again. Okay, that's fantastic. Let's rotate the H encoder to the left and cut our length down to 10. So we've only got 10 steps. Let's hear this now. It took me quite a while to figure out what's actually happening here. Right, so this is the first one, ARP length 10. So I've colour coded this. Step 1 is in red, step 2 is in blue, step 4 is in green, 5 is in orange, 7 is in magenta, 8 is in yellow, and 9 is in pink. Let's look at these first 10 steps as I play this. 1, 2, gap, 4, 5, gap, 7, 8, 9, gap. Okay, so that's what we've got in our pattern. Gap, gap, gap. Now it's what happens next is a bit confusing. What actually happens is this. We only see the 10 steps on our screen on the Digitone. The sequencer carries on once those 10 steps have been reached. And what it does, once it's reached that 10th step, it starts that pattern again. So for steps 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16, it's actually playing steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So it's actually going 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 14, 15. 1, 2, 4, 5. You see? So it restarts at step 11, gets as far as it can, and then of course once step 16 has been reached, the whole thing starts again. So we actually have 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 14, 15, or if you like 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, etc. Let's change the arc length to 9, so we'll bring this back one. Now we can only see 9 steps. It's exactly the same pattern, but this time when it reaches step 9 it goes back to step 1, so you can see that it works out like this. 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. Now this is obviously incredibly slow. You wouldn't be able to count it if it was up at something like 100 beats per minute, but at least you can see how it's working. So it's slightly different, slightly shorter. Right, let's do something a bit more radical. Let's bring our arc length down to 5, and we're just going to change a couple of things here. Let's come over and we'll make a gap on step 2 and on 5. We've actually only got 2 notes on steps 1 and 4, and it's red and green, you see? So when it gets to the end of step 5 it will start again, and that will carry on for 5 steps, and that will take you to step 10. So from 11 you're starting yet again, and when you get to 15 you'll have done your pattern of 5 3 times, remembering that there are 16 steps. So you've got 3 5s, that's 15. So to complete your 16 steps you play just the first step again. You look at the end there, there's a number 1. So this time you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 16, 1, 4, 1, 4. You get the idea. And you can hear a pattern there. If I speed this up, you'll hear a definite pattern there. It's probably not immediately obvious when you're running at really slow speed like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 4, 5, 1. Like I say, it took me a while to figure that out, what was actually going on, but now you can see it done, how it's done mathematically. Good stuff. Let's go back to our first pattern, shall we? Our arp length 10. And now we're back to 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 4, 5. Let's speed it up and hear the pattern. That's great, isn't it? Right, let's go back to our kick drum track. Get rid of those extra kick drums. Notice the track that we're using the arpeggiator on, which is track 9, there's only one trig right at the beginning there to provide us with all that sound. So now our arpeggiator is definitely being useful, isn't it? Let's make it a bit more interesting, change some notes. So let's go to the 4th step and we'll rotate the E encoder. Notice how that's interesting now because that note's popping up all over the place. Let's change another one. Maybe this one and bring this down. Now I was watching Sineways video the other day and David was saying it would be great if you could print this to the track, and that is a good point. If you could do that, it would be fantastic, but you can't sadly. But at least we've got this and it's great, isn't it? Right, so we're getting there, we're making progress. It's quite a long subject this, isn't it? You wouldn't think it, would you? Right, now if you want to clear out your arpeggiator, you hold function and clear. And now we've still got our trig, so lose that. But now there's nothing in our arpeggiator and it's turned off. As soon as you press clear, the arpeggiator is turned off. Nothing in the notes. Yeah, it's all clear. So we've got a fresh start now. So let's say we want to try and record a chord into the arpeggiator. Let's come out of there by pressing that button. Make sure we're in just a normal mode here. No trigs recorded. Completely clear, 1 bar pattern. So we'll hold function and keyboard setup key. Let's go to the normal mode. This one here. Remember we're in C Aeolian, so if I play these keys, I've got 1 octave of the C natural minor scale ascending. So if I play 9, 3, 13 and 7, that will be a C minor 7th chord. So I quite like that. I haven't recorded anything, I'm just auditioning this at the moment. If I hold function and yes, it says waiting for notes. If I play those notes again, they're going to go into the kind of buffer. So I'm going to play 9, 3, 13 and 7. They're in. If you look at the little keyboard on the top, you can see the notes there. So if I like this and I want to commit it to the machine, I say yes. Save chord to memory. Now you can see I've got some other chords here that I've saved earlier. 5 is flashing, that's fine, I'll save it to 5. Now if I scroll across to the chord memory, press 5, there's my chord. Let's come out of this mode, function and keyboard. Turn that keyboard light off. Let's press the note edit. Okay, Now you can see it's jumped to where I was last, which was the chord memory, and I've got these choice of 5 chords. Now whichever one I press is going to get recorded into the first step of the sequence. So you can see at the top of the page, note edit, step 101. So if I press 5, you see the notes that come up in the list, and if I press play, it's playing that chord just as a solid block on the first beat of the bar. The arpeggiator is turned off at the moment. Let's press the arpeggiator key. Okay. Press play. No change because I haven't turned it on yet. We can hold function and the arpeggiator key. It jumps to true mode. Now it's playing the notes in the order that I entered them in when I recorded that chord. Notice the note length is very short. I can make it even shorter. If it's too long, it blurs a bit too much, I think, so something like that is quite nice, I think. Now, the range is set on 1. Let's change that to 2 octaves. See what that does. It repeats the same thing an octave higher, or if I set it to 4 octaves, over the course of those 16 steps, it will play those 4 notes 4 times in 4 different octaves. Now if I change the speed, let's see what that does. Gets all manner of crazy things, lots of triplet feels here, some very fast notes, but let's just bring it back to good old 16 where we feel comfortable. So if I press the note edit key again, I could edit these notes. At the moment it's playing C, D sharp, G and A sharp. Actually in a C minor we'd say E flat and we would say B flat, but the Digitone only uses the sharp symbol. So instead of saying E flat we say D sharp, instead of saying B flat we say A sharp. So let's change our last note here, this highest note. It's rather weird the way it does it. The highest note is at the bottom of the list here, A sharp 5. So if I bring this to, I don't know, C6. It's going to C6 instead of the A sharp. Let's come back to the arpeggiator, bring the range down to 1 octave for the moment. Come back to our notes. So we could change the notes themselves in the chord, we could change the timing where they come, and I showed you the other day the complete note edit menu of changing the note, the time, the length and the velocity, so I won't get into that now. But there's our solid chord, no arpeggiator. Turn the arpeggiator on and we could put it in a different mode like up and down, which is cycle. Notice how it gets to the end of the pattern and it restarts to keep it all musical, which I think is good. Now here's another way of recording something into the arpeggiator. Let's clear our arpeggiator out. So function and clear. Let's go to our note edit and we could clear this. Just hold function and the up arrow. So I've got nothing, just the kick drum running at the moment. Make sure we're on step 1, which we are. Let's go to our function and keyboard setup. We'll go to our normal mode. All the way back there, which is fine. Right, let's put our arpeggiator into true mode with the A encoder. Okay, let's press the note edit key. Notice it drops into grid record mode, the rec light comes up. I'm in the normal mode, so if I press the keys, they turn red. Now, that's my arpeggio, you see, because of the notes I pressed. I could take notes out, put them back in. It's a great way of experimenting, isn't it? So red keys are going to play and white keys are not, and obviously the keys that are blank are not part of the mode. You see the notes changing in the display. Sometimes takes a little while for everything to reset, you see? It's brilliant though, isn't it? I love that. And of course you can edit the notes in the normal way with the note edit. Change the notes, change the timing, the length and the velocity. Now let's just get rid of all of those so it's empty. Let's go into function and keyboard setup, change the mode to folded. Now you'll see I'm in folded mode, but this time the root notes are in brown, not as they were in blue. So again, same thing applies though. I can enter in the notes, take notes out. It's very flexible, isn't it? Right, let's hold function and clear our notes, note edit, nothing in there, arpeggiator, so just the kick drum running. Now you can try real-time recording. I find this, like a lot of people find it, a bit iffy, a bit tricky to do, but I'll show you the method. So we go to the tempo menu, the metronome is on, it's on when that switches over there. Pre-roll is on 1 bar. Let's slow this down a bit, shall we? Something like 75, so it's not too fast, not too slow. Now make sure the length in the trig page is not set to 16, because otherwise the Digitone won't play the arpeggio back. So I bring this back to 1/16, which is 1. There we go. Let's just try normal mode. That's good. Going to rehearse first. Turn the arpeggiator on. Let's put it on to up. Practice. I'll do something like that. So if I hold the record button and the play button, I'll get a 1 bar count in and I play my pattern. And I was successful then, I was lucky. They all went in. If we go to the track, come out of this, turn the arpeggiator off. Just got the one trig, but if I press the note edit, I've got those notes. Notice my timing was a bit off. I thought my quantize is set on, so I'm not quite sure why the notes are slightly out of time, but anyway, they are, and a slightly different length. But anyway, that real-time recording worked, and of course I could edit the notes as usual. So there we are. That is the arpeggiator, and it's pretty amazing. I have to confess that in my videos I get so tied down with the nuts and bolts of it, I actually forget to make music, and a lot of my fellow YouTubers out there are very good at doing that. People like Simeway and EasyBot, you know, they're always very musical in their videos. I'm a bit of a nuts and bolts man, just trying to get you to understand how the thing works. Hopefully one day, if I ever stop making tutorial videos, I'll be making some music. I like to think that I'm a pretty good musician. I've got a lot of years behind me, and I'm looking forward to that time. At the moment, I'm kind of obsessed with teaching. I've been a teacher all my life, in schools and privately, teaching the guitar and the squeeze box and the concertina, that kind of thing. So I'm a bit obsessed with teaching, but I do like to make music. Just in case you're wondering, one day hopefully I'll come up with some music that's worth listening to on this. Anyway, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. If you feel like you'd like to help me on my way, please make a donation either here on YouTube or preferably on my website, which is www.daddylonglegs.com. If you do that, it's very much appreciated. even if it's only a couple of pounds, that's fantastic. So thank you very much for watching, and you'll see me in my next video.